This video will be covering the Leo full moon at 24 degrees of Leo on February 12th and energies surrounding that. Again, continuation. Is everyone breathing? Hello, my beautiful friends. Like my little intro, I want to make sure everyone is breathing. It is insane. This is the war of the robber barons against the people, and they see it as this is their time to take it all over. And again, entertainment only. I am an astrologer of 40 years, a psychotherapist of 30, and my goal here is to help you understand the energies and to take care of yourself as my viewers and to give you ideas and insights on how you can do that from the planetary energies. As a psychotherapist, I'm in it with you. We're all in this together. I do need to do a little cleanup work from the last video. I made a mistake. I was looking at February and March, and on March 1st, Venus went into, on February 1st, Venus went in conjuncted Neptune, which is in Pisces. So I think that may have affected besides the fact that I was coming off of a serious illness, affected my brain. So the Pisces energy is not Venus going retrograde, but it can feel like Venus moving into Pisces can feel like a Venus retrograde. So a lot of the information that I gave you guys will be very close to the same thing. Certainly agape love and that sort of thing, and or concerns around finances and values, and deeply disappointed and just like feeling abandoned, feeling victimized, feeling all of those things. And certainly that is what's happening. So Venus goes retrograde March 1st. I will cover that toward the end, last week of February. Okay, having cleaned up that mess, I would tell you that even though I'm very strong, sometimes I think I'm stronger than I am. So sometimes the clarity isn't there yet. I'm doing the best I can. I will always beg forgiveness if I mess up on some of the information I'm sharing with you. There's not a whole lot of other energies. We continue, except for on the 4th, when Jupiter goes direct, this coming up week, when Jupiter goes direct, the moon is also squaring Pluto and Mercury. So those energies will feel shock. We're going to still be going through a lot of shock and awe, even with Jupiter going direct. Jupiter going direct, Uranus going direct. Again, I'm going to remind you that these are very fast-paced energies because Uranus in Taurus, but he is an electrical, fast-paced change, exposing deep, dark secrets and whatever's hidden, whatever's broken. We've had 2 airplane crashes that, to some degree, there might be some reason to be suspicious about them. So we'll see, considering the Trump administration is not really interested in having people investigate. We'll see what happens if there's any evidence or any information about that would have caused these planes to crash. So we're moving into this new energy. The old energies of this Grand Cross are still in effect. They've been in effect since November. And the Grand Cross is where there's at least 4 planets that are squaring and 2 sets of planets opposing each other. So they're squaring and opposing, and that's what we call a Grand Cross, which is a crisis configuration. This crisis configuration is in cardinal signs, so it's kind of on the cusp. So it's some fixed signs, some cardinal signs. That energy is, the fixity is, it's really difficult. It's shocking. It gets to the core of what we thought the world was supposed to be like and challenges us truly to the core. That energy is still there, but we are moving into the time and the month of February, while it's going to seem like some areas are getting more out of control, wilder, crazier, and more shocking. The level of that is really needs to be speaking to every one of us that we can't be complacent. The government is not going to show up to help us, right? So now it's down to us And as in whatever ways and however many ways we can push back against this, protest against this while we still can, it's really, really critical it happens. I would also tell you, again, keeping the faith, holding the vision, because these energies are not supported for where we're going as we're moving into the Aquarian age. This is the last dying gasp of the dictators, the oligarchs, the patriarchal systems that are going to be crumbling. And there are those in our world, in our country, in the other democratic countries that know that if this is ignored and allowed to move forward, it is the end. It is the end for humanity, for the people, for the earth. These are very, very intense and trying times. And the similar time as we, as a country, doing our Pluto return in Aquarius, we're also in the middle of a Chiron return over the course still of this coming year. Chiron is the wounded healer, requires that we look at creatively outside of the box and that we need to be healing. And we need to heal the core wound in this country. Even though we have this really wonderful constitution, it's not perfect, but it was also founded on a bunch of lies. The lies of everyone here is equal. It was based on slavery and a genocide of the Native American peoples in order to do what they're doing now, going for this big grab, this big power, land, money. I mean, I heard this morning that we are definitely going to be trying to invade Panama, take the Panama Canal back, that we're going to have the military invade Mexico under the guise of this emergency because of the drug cartels BS. And because they want the unitary. I mean, it's not going to stop there. They're going for Canada too. He's not joking. When he's going, no, we should get Greenland and Canada should be the 51st state. I mean, these guys are insane. They're out of their minds with their power because they have not been stopped. They have not been regulated in 80 years. They're very quietly behind the scenes. These people have been buying off politicians in our country and around the world. So entertainment only. This is my opinion, So, and if you disagree with that, that's fine. Take it someplace else. But this is my assessment of what's going on. And I've been a student of psychology, sociology. I have thousands of hours of college credits because if I needed information and that was the way to get it, then I would take that course. So it's like my decisions are informed and my values are informed, and I do the research. So please, if this offends you, I am sorry for that. But at this point in time, I don't think we can sugarcoat anything anymore. We are in a crisis, no different than the French Revolution, no different from our original revolution to separate from the king and all of the taxation without representation. We are the most heavily taxed peoples in the world, and the lowest paid of all the industrialized nations. So, and that's been very quietly also done over the past 80 to 100 years. So the robber barons who got shut down and their assets taken and divided and money put back into the country and into the people to build this most amazing infrastructure, hospitals and banks and, schools and roads and, dams and all of the infrastructure that was built in the 40s and 50s that made the greatest middle class in the world. Since the 50s, they've been slowly, quietly, robber barons going, yeah, we need to get together and get rid of this stuff. And we'll just, we can be patient. Most of the oligarchs now, a few of them are self-made. Most of them inherited their money from their parents. And so they're just continuing the vision of their parents. That's the conflict I see in this chart. So the chart is, it's the people against those in power that are abusing their power, that are using technology, that are monitoring us. I mean, Elon Musk has now gotten into the Social Security accounts. He is locked everyone, all of our government employees out. He's gone into the Treasury. We have 13 trillion or something like that in the Treasury. Locked all those guys out, from what I'm hearing, seeing on the internet and reliable sources. So this is a huge global coup by oligarchs. Wake up time, everyone. We're going to take some really deep breaths. Do that as often as you need, throughout the day as you need. And then once you come back to your center, it's like we have to go to work. We have to get active. We need to be able to join with others because there are way more of us. And what happened in past revolutions like this, people's revolutions, pitchforks came out and a lot of the oligarchs were unalived. And that's not what I'm advocating. Never advocate violence. But this has to be exposed and the people need to come together and we need to start showing up in numbers because that's the only way they're going to get it. Kind of shocked them. I mentioned this before when a disgruntled person ended up shooting the CEO because he had denied of a healthcare organization and the CEO. And that basically that organization had been, their policy was to always deny, delay, and distract, which is, there's no good value to medical insurance companies. That's all. They're there to keep the money. They're not there to pay for your healthcare as healthcare is skyrocketing, and the people can't really afford the healthcare. But here's the good news. There's real healthcare at your natural grocery store, natural herbs, vitamins, natural organic foods, and things like that. So that's a different topic than what I want to do today. I definitely want to keep these videos at 20 to 30 minutes, no more, because I know it's hard for people to manage anything more than that. So this is the week where coming up, the first week of February, and I'm going to be talking about the full moon in Leo the second week, which is February 12th. I think I just said January. February 12th. That day itself is also going to be very conflictual. And the reason I think it's going to be conflictual is we are going to slowly, once Jupiter goes direct on February 4th, we're going to start getting information and it's going to shock and piss off a lot of people. By the full moon in Leo, this energy is the moon opposing the sun, moon square Uranus, moon opposing Mercury, moon in conjuncting Neptune. As the people, moon represents the people, and the people are starting to wake up to the fact that how much we have been lied to for how long. Anger is a good thing as long as it's motivational. And if it's motivational, not toward violence. So we really do need to wake up, do our research to make sure we are getting the facts, which I think we will. But I do believe February and March are going to be the months where we get the most information about what's been going on behind the scenes. Internationally, evidence is going to be coming out, and there are many, many things that we can do more than what I can recommend. I think we get the communities together, the friends, the families together, and then out to greater community, and we start talking. We start problem solving. And there are those in my generation and subsequent generations, those of us, I'm in my early 70s, 60s, 50-year-olds, 40-year-olds that have all come to a level of mastery. And even our 20 and 30-somethings, they have come in with unique gifts and unique insights. And they are much more awake and aware than we are and connected to the cosmos. So we need to be inclusive of everyone, including, as I said in my last video, Republicans, MAGAs, any of those who were sucked into a trance, and it truly is a trance state of wanting to believe what these people have said to them, what Fox News says to them. They've wanted to believe that. So they are now waking up to some really shocking hard truths. And that's going to continue in earnest the next 2 months. By the time we get to March and April probably it will be the month where things will come to a head. And it's springtime. It's so much easier for everyone to get out to do protests in the spring when it's warmer. In the middle of winter, it's a little bit difficult for those elders and those with health issues, etc. What are the gifts that are coming in? It's at 24 degrees of Aquarius, the sun, and the moon is at 24 degrees of Leo. So if you have planets in the fixed signs, that would be Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. This full moon is knocking on your door to say, okay, it's time. We need you to start tapping in and being willing to do some work. There's the Grand Cross, the sun to the moon, Ceres, Mercury, communications, squaring Uranus in Taurus, so shocking truths coming out, uncomfortable truths coming out, opposing Juno about abuse, betrayal. And in the sign of Scorpio, it's money, it's power, it's sexuality. There's going to be so much stuff that comes out around the sexual stuff that is in the human trafficking, the child trafficking that has been going on in this country for decades. It's going to make us really sick to our stomachs. And then, the moon in Leo is on the other side. Moon represents people. The people, it represents the feminine. It represents women and children. And that's why I keep saying, the last video I said, women have to be part of the solution. I think we are the most passionate. We have the most to lose. And it's not just losing our own rights to our own body, our power, our ability to have money, businesses, or whatever. It's also because we have children. And if you don't have children, your sister or your brother has children. To see what is going to be happening, and it's already happening, is going to make your blood boil. I would say we're going to be very much triggered to be motivational, to take some actions and to start doing the research and talking with each other. One person can't fix this. It's going to take the collective. Here's some of the more of the good news. Saturn, Neptune, the North Node, those three energies. North Node is karmically what we're here to do. Saturn is a reminder. It's the authority figures. He's been, for the past year or so, traveling through Pisces. Saturn's not comfortable in Pisces. Saturn is the authority. It's very Capricorn energy. He likes his structures. He's been asked to soften and to care for the least amongst us. What are they doing? The oligarchs and the tech brothers and all these guys, the tech bros, they don't care. They'll lie. They'll tell you to your face these big lies, and then they're going to take it all away from you. And they don't care. They truly don't care about us. Neptune and Saturn, highest vibration in the sign of Pisces of agape love and caring. It's Christ consciousness. It's about caring for all and making sure that everyone's needs are met, everyone's boat is lifted, they have housing, they have food, they have clothing, they have education, they have healthcare, they have all this stuff. The fact that the rest of the world moved way past us a long time ago and offered that to their citizenry, and our country still refuses to do that, really does not speak well. It is time for this old order, this old white supremacist, male-dominated structure to crumble. That's the mission for those of us that want this country to survive and thrive and want a future for our children and grandchildren, because these guys do not care about environmental issues. They are happy. They don't care if they poison the land and the water and our air. A couple of days after Trump took office, I was looking outside and I noticed, we're having north to south airplanes leaving chemtrails. And then a couple hours I looked and it was solid, like very, very close chemtrails. They just kept going up and down. What is going on? Why is it all of a sudden we're having all these chemtrails. I did some meditation. I put protection around our communities. I ask that the guides, guardian angels, ascended masters, and any and all souls on the other side, please disperse whatever is in those toxic clouds that are being spread over the U.S. More good news. Chiron and Eris, the warrioress priestess. And I have to say, I have an Eris in Aries. We all do, about the same degrees. Eris is the sister to Mars and is still in Aries energy my whole life. And I have been a warrioress for the underdog, for people being abused, for children being abused. I mean, I owned a nationally accredited preschool and childcare for 18 years. I was expert witness in court cases involving domestic abuse and child abuse. And some of those were really dangerous kinds of things. And a strong advocate for women and children, and really anyone that's being abused or mistreated. So Chiron and Eris are traveling together. They trine the moon in this full moon in Leo. We need to speak to healing changes, transformational changes, and advocate with Eris. We need to advocate for new programs for women and children so that they are seen, valued, recognized, supported, loved, cared for. Trust our intuition. Hygeia, the medical intuitive psychic surgeon, is also close to Eris's energy, within 5 degrees of the moon. That's still, close enough. So that combination of get very, very specific about the things that we need to see happen for women and children. And then Uranus, even though he's part of the Grand Cross, the planet of Shakana in the sign of Taurus, is sextiling Saturn, Neptune, and the North Node. Kind of a wide sextile for the North Node, but they're all in Pisces energy. His energy is also going to highlight the needs of the underrepresented, the people that are being left behind, pointing the finger at those in power to do something about it. Mars is also, there's another little trine to the asteroid Vesta. Vesta is the feminine quality of the sacred hearth and home. Also relates to healing, herbology, sacred processes, sacred sexuality, sacred human and Earth. She's a little bit of a grounded Earth mother as well. Mars in Cancer saying, we need to uplift and hold as sacred every human being, every critter, every tree. This is our Mother Earth, and we have to care for her if humanity is going to survive. And again, the tech bros, the oligarchs around the planet are not interested in that. They want the resources. These guys are gazillionaires. They're billionaires, if not more. What more do they need? It's all ego. It truly is all ego. Hopefully, when we get through this process, this kind of energy will not visit the Earth again, but it doesn't mean we're not going to have a fight on our hands until it can be shifted. Jupiter trining part of fortune in Libra. Jupiter is Gemini. He has gone direct in Gemini, so lots of information coming out related to, I would also say probably lots of lawsuits are flying. We already know this against this administration for all the illegal actions they're taking. But no one in authority, because Trump is at the head of the government, he's not going to order anyone to kick Elon Musk out of the computers in the Treasury Department or Social Security Administration. So no, there's no one. There's no one that's right now, other than the attorneys in the country, attorneys generals, mostly in the Democratic states, that are filing lawsuits to stop this. Thankfully, judges are putting stays on it, but there's only stays. So it's going to be an intense battle. If you are an attorney and you are retired, you might want to join in this really sacred battle to save our country. And there's also in the sign of Libra, the dark moon of Lilith. The dark moon of Lilith represents our core wounding. And so that energy is truly about the lack of balance, the lack of respect, the lack of love, heart, in the actions that are going on. And that we need to truly shed light on that around there needs to be nurturance in all levels. So support, emotional support, mental health support, physical support, food, and all of the needs need to be cared for. And we need to start talking about how that can shift and change. We can't really and truly rest until we do this. I wanted to mention real quickly that I did look at the US chart in relation to this particular full moon. Yes, the Grand Cross is still there, but there are a lot of really positive aspects to energies in the Sibley chart of the US, the birth chart of 1776, July 4th, 1776, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Lots of gifts in this chart. So the good news about these energies is they are so fast. They are so fast moving. And in a few months, Uranus is going to move out of my sign, thank you, Goddess, into Gemini. And when it moves into Gemini, Pluto's in Aquarius, we're moving into some very beautiful trines over the next many years between those two planets. So Pluto is the power planet, death, rebirth, in the sign of Aquarius, trining Uranus in the sign of Gemini. So that's going to be a huge shift. It really doesn't, it might move into effect toward the end of this year, but it's more 2026, 27. There is hope, people, because the people are waking up and they're going, oh my God, what are we going to do? And we do have to get through the shock, take some time to meditate, take some time off, go walk through the forest or the park or up the mountain or to the beach, whatever it is we need to do. We need to move into to trying to find some balance. Don't watch the news. Let yourself only check in as an astrologer. I need to see how these energies are working out. One of my life lessons has been to learn detachment. And so I can see this, and I do get a little excited talking to you guys, but truly, I know where we are heading, and it is beautiful. And this is going to only be a few months to the end of the summer, and things are going to shift. More karma is going to come down on some of the global leaders that are perpetuating this or triggering this. But it is our wake-up call. It is the dark night of the soul for the US, and it is our wake-up call. We all have to find what is our peace. It isn't just about, I'm really clear at this point. It's like, yes, we can all hold the vision of this beautiful golden age of peace and balance and all of that stuff, but we're not there yet. And so we need to look inside to see what are the gifts that we have to give to help support this healing and transformation, because that's really what's going on. And those that are operating in the dark side of these energies are really and truly very powerfully showing us what's out of balance. Blessings to all of you. I love you all. I know that I'm just sitting up on the moon on a regular basis, looking back and watching all the little souls awakening and the lights turning on and the earth becoming just this beautiful ball of light as we do wake up, as we do go through this transition. And know that there are many, many millions of us, if not billions, on the planet who have prepared most of our lives. And those star seeds coming in now that are coming into their own, even the young children, are tapping into these energies and doing their part during dream time. We will make the transition. We just each need to very clearly hold the vision and figure out what is our part. So blessings to all of you. Thank you. Please don't forget to subscribe and click like. I am still very new and trying to build this channel. Take care and keep the faith.